Welcome and thank you so much for joining today's Climathon live talks. This Sunday, today, the 29th, marks the end of the Climathon Global Days. We've seen a lot of Climathons happening throughout both the week, the year also, but especially in this weekend. I've seen and I've followed along on Instagram to see what's been going on, and there's been a lot of really positive energy, a lot of people working together on their local climate challenges. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Bjarke Korsøy. I represent EIT Climate-KIC, which is Europe's leading organization when it comes to pushing for innovation and climate solutions. We have been running the Climathon since 2015, and Climathon is really a community. So it's really a program, a movement that brings together a lot of people. And if you followed the last couple of days, you've also met some of these people, and you've seen that people come from different backgrounds. They have different skills in terms of what they're currently doing. They also have different motivations to why they want to host a Climathon, but they all want to do something locally. They all want to change their city for the better together with citizens. And that is really the key of Climathon. And today is no different. We have with you some really interesting organizers of Climathon, some of them who are just in the midst of the Climathon. So we really appreciate that they're taking their time to join us. We also have some Climathon organizers who already have organized their Climathon. So we really have quite a diverse group of people with us. And it's from Venice. We have Francesca. She's the organizer of Climathon Venice. That's one of our longer running Climathons. And she's one of the people who are just in the midst of the Climathon. So we really look forward to talking to her and understanding and maybe getting a little bit of sense of that energy that we know there is during a Climathon. We also have Nicolae from Chisinau, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, hopefully. Chisinau in Moldova. He had his Climathon in the start of May this year, or in the midst of May, sorry. So we can also maybe ask Nicolae a few questions about what he's seen since his Climathon and what has happened. So we'll bring back Francesca and Nicolae a little bit later. But first, I want to introduce our third organizer, which is Gelito from Lichinga, a city in Mozambique. And Gelito is actually one of these like a core Climathon organizer. So again, like I said, Climathon organizers have a lot of different backgrounds, but he is currently in the midst of trying to organize his Climathon that will be coming up very, very soon. So from him, we can also maybe understand a little bit about what does it actually take to have this dream about bringing a Climathon to your city and then setting it up, getting the sponsorships you need, getting the partners on board, selecting your challenges, and so on. So I just wanted to see if Gelito is still with us. I think maybe there is a bit of an issue with a bad internet connection. So maybe while we still wait for Gelito, or I think he's actually back. So Gelito, can you hear us? Are you with us? You're nodding. So Gelito, can you maybe if you can unmute yourself, can you just tell us a little bit about your background and why is it that you want to bring a Climathon to Mozambique? You need to unmute yourself. You're still muted. So you're still unmute. So if you go, you should be able to click like a small microphone and then unmute yourself. There you go.
Hello?
Yes. Yeah. Great to have you.
Yes. My name is Gelito, Inácio Franco, Mozambique nationality. I am bachelor in fauna and ecotourism. I am a founder of Gato Preto Ltd. Gato Preto Ltd advocate on sustainable use of land and other natural resource, climate action, sale of seeding, and selling agricultural input. We have worked with community of Lake Niassa to planting trees and mangrove in the area devastated by major natural disaster. Sensitizing community to retreat in flooding area, collect plastic bag in lake, sensitizing community to combating uncontrollable burning, and opening agri-livestock to community. We would like to be part. I would like to be part of this program because Mozambique is one of the countries most affected by great tropical cyclones, such as Gombe, Idai, Eloise, Shalan, Kenneth, and recently devastated by great tropical cyclone Fred, affected more than 43,000 people in Mozambique. Now, I would like to combat this catastrophe phenomenon affected in my country.
And Gelito, it seems like with what you just told us, it seems like you are really a community-driven person. Like you said, there is a lot of activities and actions that you guys are already pushing for in Mozambique. And like you said, Mozambique is a country that already sees the consequences of climate change. So now that you're trying to bring the Climathon to your city, what are some of the things that you are currently doing to make that happen in Mozambique?
Yes, this case, my work, I would like to sensibilization to community of this city, Lichinga city, to collect plastic bag and combating and sensibilization to practice conservation agriculture because it is one of the countries most affected of this catastrophic phenomenon. Now, I have worked with several organizations advocated in climate change mitigation, such as Commonwealth Yes Climate Change Network, Yes for Climate. Here and I am a member of Yango. This organization advocates in combating climate change, specifically planting trees, and I have started of this work in this city, in the community of Luenge. I have received more than
I think, Gelito, I think maybe we lost you, but I think again, like we were just hearing from, so I think you're back now, but yeah, like we were just hearing from you, I think again, it really shows how a person like yourself have become aware of some of the issues with climate change. and you're doing a lot of really great initiatives on the ground. So why is it that you think that bringing a Climathon to Lichinga, why is it that you think that would be a good next step for you to do something about these climate issues, climate challenges?
Can you repeat again?
So I was just saying that it seems like you are doing a lot of great work on the ground. You also mentioned some of the organizations that you're part of. So I was just curious to know, from your perspective, why is it that a Climathon is interesting? Why do you want to be bringing a Climathon and be part of the Climathon movement? Why is that's important to you?
Climathon in my seat would bring more benefit in the area of combating natural disasters and put in good condition our seat, because our country needs a quick interventions for mitigate this catastrophe phenomenon. Because with this program, I am grateful to get in this project, and I will expand my project in other area must be devastated by major natural disaster.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for that, and again, thank you, Gelito, for being part of this, and thank you again for actually doing something on the ground. And I think this is really what we want everybody to see with these Climathon live talks, is actually that we want everyone to see the people behind the Climathon, because Climathon is a movement, it's a global movement, but it's really run by passionate people on the ground. And I think you're a great example of that. And I just want to thank you very much for also taking the time to be here today. And I know you're you're still working on your Climathon. So if there's someone out there who are watching now that would want to work with you or want to support you in any ways, I think, reach out to us and we can connect you, because you're really doing a great job in terms of getting I think what would be actually the first Climathon in Mozambique happening. So thank you again for taking the time. And from Mozambique, we're now going to go to Venice in Italy, where we have Francesca. And Francesca is part of, or is the organizer of Climathon Venice. And Climathon Venice is one of the longer running Climathons. So there's a lot of great history there. I know the city of Venice have been a big supporter of the Climathon. This year, the Academy of Fine Arts is one of the key partners. So it's really interesting to hear also how art and climate can go hand in hand. But Francesca, please tell us, who are you and why are you doing this? Taking climate action locally, and maybe also tell us a little bit about how it's been so far. You started the Climathon yesterday.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I'm Francesca. I'm actually from Venice Calls, which is a local organization. As the name suggests, we mostly work in Venice. And this is the 5th year we've been organizing Climathon. We actually started by participating in the Climathon. So a small delegation of our organization participated in the first year. And then we took on the organization. So we've been organizing that for, as I mentioned, for some years now. So we have some experience, but every year it's quite different. So this is actually the first year we do it in a different location. So we picked, as you mentioned, the Academy of Fine Arts of Venice, which is a very nice location. I have to say, a very nice venue, because it's an important artistic cultural institution. And our challenge this year, it's especially about creativity and arts. And we kind of, after some years, so we decided to change a bit the topic. So of course, the challenge is also based on Venice, on our city. but we try to move the focus a bit on the larger area of Venice, still the municipality of Venice, but the lagoon. So the natural environments around Venice, minor islands and salt marshes, which are the most important ecosystem we rely on here, so which is providing numerous ecosystem services, if we want to put it this way. And so we were asking our participants to reflect more, to move the focus on this part of the city, which is often neglected, especially from outside Venice. And since we're in an international context, we also want to give this idea that it's not just the historical center with all the problems it has that we try to tackle with the past editions, but also to move more on these environments and to focus on the way in which arts, creativities, and all this anything actually creative can bring back the attention to that. So also to understand what is, of course, it's a way of making people more conscious, so to raise awareness, of course, but also to unveil all the links there are between these environments, biodiversity, for example. We had a couple of pre-events before Climathon, so to prepare for it, we visited some part of the lagoon, especially to understand how it works and how this environment is related to climate. So it's Climathon, of course, but we don't need to stress out how biodiversity is linked. I mean, it's just the whole environmental crisis we are going on. That we are going through. So yeah, we are very happy about this topic and how people are interpreting this now. As you also mentioned, it's the second day. So yesterday we had some introductory notes from different speakers. So we had scientists, we have 2 artists, which are also doing like giving examples, like inspirations on like how to work between art, climate, environment, and the lagoon of Venice. And we put all these people in conversation. So we had people from EU Life projects, people from our local organizations. And so yeah, one thing I just want to point out is that I think since we started organized Climathon, it has always been a common effort. So okay, there is this name, Venice Calls, but then okay, this year we have the Academy of Fine Arts as location, but it's always a number of local organizations coming together and contributing to that. So, for example, we have mentors which are from other youth organizations, from University for SDGs, so from music organizations. So we're trying to bring all the arts and all the different kind of expertise here, also with our jury who will vote tomorrow, this afternoon.
Great stuff. So just there, I can also hear if someone is in Venice and they want to come, there's actually like a pitching session, I guess.
Yeah, from 4 p.m. local time, of course. We will have the presentations and then some also a small performance here. So
great. Yeah. No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's just while the jury will vote, we will have a small art performance. So.
Amazing. So that's just if anyone is in Venice, stop by. That's the beauty of Climathon. There is a lot of Climathons happening all over the world. So if you become aware of it, go to the Climathon website, see if there is a Climathon close to you. Maybe you could already join one today, or you could at least go feel this energy that there is at a Climathon, and then maybe you're there next year solving some of the local challenges. But I think, Francesca, you also mentioned like it's actually a really good example of why sometimes we get I mean, sometimes we get stuck when we talk about climate change and try to solve it. But you actually showed, like, with what you said, it's not only businesses and solution and cities on the other side. There's a lot of things in between, like arts, like the average citizen becoming aware of some of these climate change, so they might be able to change as well. So I think it's really great to with what you do and also what you do in Venice Calls, like that you also think about how there are many other paths to solving the climate crisis. Just personally, why is it that you are invested in this, and you're like, obviously you're part of Venice Calls, and that's one of the things that you're working on. But why is this important to you to do this?
Do you mean to do the Climathon or the particularity of this year challenge? What do you mean? Sorry.
Yeah. So maybe the question is, why is it important to you to work on climate action? And maybe the second question could be, why do you think Climathon is a great platform to do this?
Well, about the first part, I think it's not much of a choice to think about climate action and to find ways to do it, and to find new tools to do it as Climathon. Especially talking from Venice, of course, it's a place, like, it's called like a thermometer of the climate change. So we really have, especially this is now the season of high tides, so we really have it in front of us, that this phenomenon is becoming more and more frequent. Just if we go outside the door of the Academy of Fine Arts, we have the water, and we see it, and we see like the traffic of boats, and we see all the consequences, all these carbon emissions that we can actually find ways to avoid. So yeah, I would say that from here we have also kind of a responsibility from Venice, because we have a certain visibility, because we have a lot of energies that can work together a lot. There is a lot of activism in different realms, and that's also one thing we do also outside of Climathon with Venice Calls. We try to put these energies together to work in a network, and it's not always easy. But yeah, I think from here, it's, yeah, as I would say, it's not really a choice to act. Well, you can also decide not to do it, but it's from here, it looks so important that, I mean, we do our best, and Climathon is just an occasion to focus on something specific while, and also to gather ideas, of course, from students, from local, in this case, from artists and so on. So it's also a very important networking moment. It's just not just a competition. There's no much of competitive air here. So it's a very nice environment for ideas and for creativity.
Thank you. Yeah, we need ideas. We need people to come together, and that's definitely what you're promoting and what you're creating a platform for in Venice. So I know also that so part of Climathon is obviously, like you mentioned, the ideas and coming up with ideas, and I know that you also, so a lot of Climathons use mentors, experts. So I know that that you also have one of your mentors. Is that correct?
If you give me a second, I can just call them. Yeah,
if
I will
it's
just call
not
one.
too much.
No, it's just they were kind of taking a break, but I will go on. Just a second. Thank you.
Yeah, so just to everyone out there, it's the idea is just that we'll just bring in one of the mentors of Climathon Venice. So as you all just heard, Climathon Venice is ongoing. So obviously these people are working, supporting the citizens of Venice in the formulation of their ideas. But we just wanted to hear from them maybe a little bit about, if we could get a little bit of insight into what are some of the ideas, what are some of the things that are getting worked on. But I can see, Francesca, you're...
Yeah, sorry, I missed the question. I was trying to take the attention from one of the of the mentors. But if it's taking too long, maybe...
Otherwise, if you can call them, then we'll actually bring Nicolae on, and then we can do a wrap up where we also have, or we'll do a wrap up where then we can hear from them.
Yeah, thank you.
So again, thank you, Francesca. Thank you for taking the time. Again, you're working in the midst of your Climathon, so we really appreciate that you're taking the time. Then we want to bring on our last organizer, but he was actually one of the first ones to organize a Climathon this year. He is Nicolae, and he is from Chisinau in Moldova, and he had a Climathon happening earlier this year in May. So it also shows, to all of you, that the Climathons are taking place all throughout the year. kind of climate change doesn't wait for us. So that's why we need, whenever we have the chance, we need to take action. So yeah, Nicolae, again, why is it important for you? Why did you decide to do something about local climate challenges? And yeah, why was Climathon a good platform for that? I think you are muted. We can unfortunately not hear you. Still unfortunately not. No. So maybe a way could be to remove the headphones, if that's possible. If you can pull it out, then.
Hi, Bjarke, do you hear me now?
Now we hear you. So thank you, Nicolae, and I know also you're busy, so thank you for taking the time to join us.
Hi, Bjarke, thank you very much for the introduction, but I'm asking for apologize. I'm an I report, and most probably you will hear some noise, but sorry for that.
That's fine.
I'm traveling, but I want to attend the meeting and to make some presentation. So colleagues, community, hello again. I'm Nicolae. I'm from Moldova, from Chisinau, and this year is the second year when we implement Climathon Moldova. And for us, Climathon it's a very important phase or a very important stage of one of our big program. We implement in Moldova a program funded by United Nations, and the Clean Tech Innovation Program funded by UN in Moldova. It's one of big program implemented in 14 countries, and is the program that has three main phases: identification of ideas, train people, and implement ideas, climate clean tech technologies ideas. So for us, we use Climathon technologies, methodologies, we use Climathon methodologies, Climathon guidelines. In the first phase, to identify the best ideas, to identify the ideas that have potential in the local market and the ideas that can be implemented. So in first phase, using the Climathon methodologies, we identify ideas in five sectors: and transport sector, and building sector, and the energy sector. And we try to implement, or we try to identify different technologies using renewable energy, energy efficiency, water efficiency, clean transport, clean buildings, etc., etc. So, and we use Climathon methodologies to identify people, to identify entrepreneurs that have interesting ideas of climate change or clean technologies ideas, and we train the people. And what is the most important for us, Climathon methodologies help us to stimulate people around, not around the city, but around the country. We identify ideas that can be implemented around the country, that can change specific sectors in our country. So this is more or less about what we're doing, why we use Climathon. One thing, one important thing, as I said, that this year was the second year when we implement Climathon in our country. So, and we already have some statistical data, and we see that increasing the interest to Climathon, increasing quality of the projects, increasing quality of ideas prepared, that people already come to the Climathon competition, Climathon days already prepared. And for us, and we are happy. For us, it's an indicator that ideas, entrepreneurs every year come better and better prepared, better ideas we have to for our competition. So, Bjarke, sorry again for the noise you have. I hope you hear me good.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do, Nicolae. And thank you again for just explaining a little bit about the Climathon. And I think it again, also just from what we've heard now, is it shows the diversity of Climathon. But I think again it goes across that all of you want to do something locally. So that is the kind of the key core. That's the core of Climathon.
Yeah, exactly. Just I think for us it's very important that we synchronize a Climathon what another Climathon as a global program, what global cleantech innovation program, which is another global program, and we make synchronization between the both programs. It works great.
Definitely. And you mentioned the ideas and how the ideas you see that they're becoming better and better year by year.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna organize also next year in 2025, so you already planned it. So again, if someone is watching from Moldova, there will be upcoming Climathons that you can participate in. But Nicolae, maybe you could mention a few of the ideas, or at least what you've seen, what's kind of happened since you had your Climathon in May. Have you seen some changes come out of it? Are there still teams working on it? I know that there are some teams that come up with great ideas, but then they stay ideas, which is also okay. But what have you seen kind of happening since the Climathon this year?
As I said, for us it's very important. We have a continuing monitoring program or continuing monitoring indicators to see the main output of the program. And what was, as I said, we see that the people that attend, as I said, we make synchronization between Climathon and Global Cleantech Innovation Program. And we see that the people that attend Climathon, that receive training program or receive additional support on developing ideas or developing business plans, etc., they are better prepared to the next phase. So they are better prepared to develop business plan, to develop or to be better prepared to investor community meetings, etc., etc. Also, they are better prepared to start a pitch, to present their ideas, etc., etc. For us, it's a very good indicator. So this is what happens, or this is what we monitoring. So we have better idea, we have better people are better prepared. People are better. The ideas that we receive are better prepared, better adapted to respond to climate change needs of our country, and what we are saying that best technologies are selected. Best technologies are selected to solve climate change problem of our country.
Thank you, Nicolae, and just from your experience and what you see happening locally, why should someone watching, if someone is watching and they think there's no Climathon in my city, I want to do it, I also want to see that people are working on solutions, what could be like, what is the one reason why they should do it, and what's maybe the first thing that they need to think about if they want to organize a Climathon?
Oh, no, I want to encourage people. I want to encourage people around the globe, on different cities, to use methodology which is very clear and very useful, and it can help you in practice step by step to identify ideas that help to develop your community. And of course, I will be happy to support people, and to share our experience, to explain what is the better way to implement the climate methodology, and how to implement the event in place. And it will be good to have more and more countries, more and more cities, and more people involved in the Climathon program.
Thank you, Nicolae, and thank you for also taking the time. Like you said, I know you're also in the midst of traveling, so we really appreciate you taking the time, and we really appreciate you being part of the Climathon community. And like you said, we do encourage people to join the community. We're here to help you. People like yourself have a lot of knowledge, so we also facilitate that, people meet each other and can share ideas. So thank you again, Nicolae. And I just wanted to then for one last maybe comment from everyone, maybe we can start with you, Francesca, and in Venice. I can see that you've been joined now by
Letizia joined us. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Well, what's kind of going on currently, and what are maybe people working on?
I take just the floor, but I will also follow up on what Nicolae just said. So as a mentor for this Climathon, so I've been very surprised by the level of knowledge that has been already taken in by participants from very different backgrounds. What I can say is that I found out that also, especially in fragile but yet very known context like Venice, the Climathon really is making up and creating a network that actually gives to youth that are having, for example, different background from design to economics, from biology to art and design, actually a framework where they could actually submit their ideas that was not existing before. Because we actually, I was very surprised personally by people already having a clear idea of the problematics, for example, of the city they were living in, and also and how this was actually connected to a global, like to global issues reflecting on the local scale, and then how also by settling up the peculiarities of each context, you could actually tackle new solutions. I found personally, by coming from the architecture background and now on art science studies, that the hackathon, it's a very effective methodology to make literally idea blooming. So now we will have the presentation of the ideas at 4 p.m. So, but already since yesterday, we saw evolving it from zero. So it has really been a very effective blossoming. I think I'm personally and objectively astonished by the quality of the ideas developed in just 48 hours and of the efficiency of the methodology. I really think that it brings forward and it gives, especially to youth, an empowerment, and also it opens up important perspective on the future, and also especially on how their projects are aligned in a sustainable development goal and obviously the goals for the European Union in terms of sustainability, Green Deal, New European Bauhaus, and Digital EU, which is amazing because it's kind of that the Climathon brings them all together. So I'm I'm really like I think I will conclude in that sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for just giving us a little bit of understanding of what's going on in Venice, and I think it's great. So I hope with what you're saying also, it seems like the teams, they will be ready for their pitch this afternoon, and they'll so can't wait to see the ideas, and anyone you can definitely go obviously follow, find the hashtag Climathon Venice, and Venice Calls, you can also follow on Global Climathon. There'll probably be some videos from there. So if you want to see how it happens, but thank you so much. Thank you for giving us a kind of a little sneak peek to what's going on in Venice. To maybe before we let you both go, but do you have one final kind of remark or something that you want to share with everyone, either about Climathon or why you think it's important to do to take climate action locally? So Francesca, maybe you guys want to go first?
Yeah, I don't want to take much time. I'm very happy about Letitia's feedback about what's going on, and yeah, I'm also always surprised about like what can happen in 48 hours, and also about the peculiarity of our city, of this environment and everything. So to go back on the question you asked before, I think from here it is particularly important to do something, and yeah, I'm very glad we have these kind of occasions, say, to do it systematically, at least one time a year, where we gather ideas, and it's also very stimulating for us as organizations to have these occasions to meet people, like beyond like what comes up with the projects. It's always nice to have these gatherings so informally, where we meet people and we know what's going on like in the city, but also in people's mind. Yeah. And also like the network, like the legitimation of being part of a bigger and broader network that connects very different scenarios
actually makes the project even stronger to know that around the globe you are mobilitating loads of people in this way, following up this methodology. So I think that it gives lots of strength. Like sometimes in some contexts, the more peculiar they are, the more you think that the solution will not have an application. But then if you see that the interest is global, and especially in different areas, you're actually working on that, like it makes even stronger, not just the motivation, but also I think that the network and the scenarios.
Thank you, and I couldn't agree more. So so I just want to wish you the best of luck also for the rest of the day. I'm really interested to see the solutions that are coming out of it. And again, thank you so much for being part of the Climathon community, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And also just one last question to you, Nicolae. Maybe the same question. Do you have one thing you want to share with the community about, like, why maybe it's about Climathon, or why it's important you think to take climate action locally? And you muted again. Yeah. That's there are some issues with the. I think you're still muted, Nicolae. You're still muted.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, we do.
Sorry about that.
No worries. Just a final remark.
Yeah, very interesting. Francesca mentioned, Francesca's colleague mentions is very important. One of the important things of Climathon is that they connected people from around the globe, and they stimulate people to be involved in more and more involved in and identify climate change technologies, so technologies that can positive impact on the climate change, to reduce climate change impact, etc., etc. From my side, as I said, I want to encourage, and it will be great for me if as a result we will stimulate people to be involved in Climathon activities. Also, not only in Climathon activities, but to be involved and identify climate change solutions, and to implement in practice, and to reduce the climate change on our cities. So thank you very much again for this great opportunity to be connected to Climathon community, and to be involved in this activities, and of course to be in contact, and to have opportunity to change the experience and to change knowledge between all of us. So thank you very much again.
Thank you, Nicolae, and thank you to all of you. Thank you, Francesca. Thank you to Francesca's colleague, Nicolae. But thank you all for joining. I know you're all busy working on Climathon. Thank you for being part of Climathon. Also, thank you to Gelito. I think, unfortunately, we lost the connection to him. But again, I hope this gave everyone kind of the understanding of the diversity of the Climathon community. But again, we all have this common goal that we want to do something locally. So we just want to thank everyone who are part of Climathon, everyone who's part of the Climathon Global Days. If there is anyone who wants to know more about Climathon, you can go to, obviously, the Climathon website. You can read about it. You can study what it actually takes to become an organizer. So it's free to become an organizer. And then you will both get the help from ERT Climate-KIC, but you also get the help from and support of all the organizers we have in the community, so we can connect you to them. So hopefully you can start Climathon somewhere in your own city. But for now, I just want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in. Thank you to the speakers. And I just want to wish you the best of luck, everyone, with the rest of the Climathon.